independent. Of course, had the Champions League final there just 8 nights ago, and we'll be back there to see Portugal lift the Nations League trophy for the second time in just a minute. Let's just go through some of the key moments then, Brian. The penalties, 5 absolute belting penalties from a Portuguese point of view. Yeah. Unfortunately, Morata was the one man whose nerve didn't hold.
Yeah, brilliant penalty kicks, considering how tired some of the players would have been that started the game. But Morata, unfortunately, is the one. I mean, it's not the worst penalty in the world. It's heading towards the corner. The goalkeeper waits. He picks the right corner. Whether he got a bit of advice from Austin McPhee, is it the coach, the set-piece coach that works with Martinez. He may have, but it would have been hard for him to have a background information on the penalty takers tonight, because a lot of them are subs, but the goalkeeper did well.
It was the only penalty that wasn't struck with pure pace.
Yeah.
All the other penalties were, goalkeepers went the right way, but the pace got it in.
Even Ruben Neves one, it was with such authority, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was the only one where it was a little bit casual, and when it's a little bit casual, that the goalkeepers invariably will get it. Even this winning penalty here, look at the pace this is struck with. Even if the goalkeeper goes the right way, I still feel there's enough pace on this that's probably still going to creep in,
Yeah.
So that's Morata just didn't hit it with enough power, really. But they're all good penalties when they go in and bad penalties when they miss. So
yeah, if the goalkeeper dived the wrong way, it would have went in comfortably. But the goalkeeper picked the right side and made the save. But a lot of pressure on them. Great, some brilliant penalties. Mendes' penalty was fantastic.
Brilliant.
He had a great game.
We want to get to Mendes in a minute. We'll just look at some of the big moments in the match. Then we'll go back to that Ronaldo goal. So at half time, if people weren't watching, the chat was Spain were looking good here. They're going to kick on. Second half starts. Obviously, Martinez makes his changes, but we're looking at Ronaldo going, is he going to have to make another one here? And the rest is history.
I think if anyone's being honest, the way he started the second half, everyone would have thinking, geez, he's got to come off here. You give the ball away 2 or 3 times on the spin. He was cut offside 2 or 3 times. He does this from time to time. He runs around and he has little spurts of energy. But as the ball was going into him, he was just getting muscled off it, and Spain were winning it back at ease. I think this is the most one here. Look, where he's time and space. He just has that extra touch, and Armand comes in and gets it, and it sets Spain on their way again. This is the one where he's just comes back from an offside position, flag goes up. So we were thinking, Jesus, if Portugal have any chance here, he has to come off. I think
this is why Martinez gets the big bucks and we're sitting here.
Yeah, and then exactly that, he leaves him on. But listen, Mingueza there just over covers and leaves Yamal. You must look at Lamine Yamal one-on-one with Nuno Mendes, and has to think there's a good chance he's going to get beat here, so he can't cover that when you got to pass that one off to a midfield player. Still, there's an incredible amount of fortune. Cross flicks up, a little bit of too much muscle for Cucurella, and he's exactly where he was. If you think back to the Scotland goal, he was right on the spot. If you think back to the goal against Germany, right on the spot. And again tonight, he's right on the spot. So you have to give him that, and you have to give him credit.
Yeah.
He's an amazing finisher, and he's just seems to be getting it done.
He certainly does. Yeah, he's been getting it done for Portugal since August 2003 against Kazakhstan. He made his debut. He's still at it. We'll go back to the first half though, Brian. And it was, again, the story at halftime was Spain were looking good, either side of a brilliant Nuno Mendes goal.
Yeah, Mendes, before the match, talking about how important that battle with...
That's the first half goals we're going to see, yeah.
Lamine Yamal was going to be. Yamal has been so exceptional recently, brilliant in the semi-final against France with the 2 goals. But tonight, he kind of met his match with Nuno Mendes with his pace and aggression. So,
here's
this is the first goal
yeah.
for Spain. Yamal comes inside, delicate little ball in there, bit of a scramble. Diaz doesn't do brilliantly. It breaks, a handy one for Zubimendi. And you were waiting here to see Mendes coming into the picture. Yamal, they're all back around it. Plenty of players there. Porro's there. Mingueza is there. And now he comes in. There's a lot of players between him and the goal. He just takes off, shifts onto his left foot and strikes into the net. It was brilliant goal.
And this is, Damien, what you were looking at before the match and the way that Spain are able to play through teams so impressively.
Yeah, I mean, even low blocks, teams that are comfortable, they're set, their distances are good. It's just one ball into midfield, one flick around the corner, a return a pass, and all of a sudden now they've just strike the hole in the middle of that low block and everyone's scrambling, and then they have the quality once you get it to the wide players to get the ball into the back of the net. So listen, they're an outrageously good team, and they will be thereabouts come the last 4, if not 2, in the World Cup next summer.
Okay, so one of the big stories of tonight, and Brian's teased it up for us there, it was the battle between Nuno Mendes and Jamal. You can kick it off, Damien, and we'll just chat about it. And how it was really fascinating, wasn't it? And how brilliant Nuno Mendes was.
Yeah, it was. And listen, his physical prowess is why he was able to handle Lamine Yamal. How quick he moves his feet. He can afford to go level with him. And as soon as Lamine Yamal tried to take him down the ice, he wants to come back inside all the time. You know, it works out really well for him here in this goal. But Nuno Mendes came out on top in this battle, absolutely, because he contributed on the other side, the offensive side of the ball as well. Here we see his goal coming in, but you know, you see when he picks up these places, Lamine Yamal is one of them in these spots, and as soon as he turns around and Mingueza isn't there, you know, obviously there's a bit of fortune, but you know, I said before the game that he won't worry and stay back and defend and be too cautious.
Yeah,
you want to get him the other way.
I didn't mean before the match that he was going to have to stay back and look after Yamal, and we wouldn't see him. I just meant that he'd have to be aware that he's going to have to defend well tonight, or otherwise Yamal would run amok, and that's what he did. He got the balance right. He was aggressive. Look at this, is into extra time, 98 minutes, and he's still powering forward. Question whether it was a penalty or not. It wasn't a penalty. We're still full of running and around the back of the set piece here, just about cleared by Spain. He had a absolutely tremendous game on top of what he did at the Champions League final. It's been.
That's the one that'd be terrifying for when they play Ireland.
Oh yeah, listen,
he was just phenomenal tonight.
An amazing attacking threat. But just going back to his physical prowess, is when you come up against someone like Lamine Yamal, you're terrified because you can go inside, outside, and you put yourself in a position, and he always has that half a yard on you. Whereas he is quick enough over 2 or 3 yards to just take up a position and say, I'm not entirely interested which way you go. You can go outside, you can go inside, because he can plant his feet and get up to full speed. He is that athleticism, he is that almost elastic pace that he just plant his feet and he's up straight away. Very, very few players in the world that have that.
Yamal makes most fullbacks look silly and cumbersome.
Because you're hesitant, because you don't want to commit to one way, because he'll go the other way. But when you have that level of prowess, I mean, you know.
De La Fuente, before the game, after the semi-final performance by Yamal, Brian said he's the best player in the world right now, Yamal, and everybody says the thing of, oh, you know, let's not get too carried away. He's not even 18 yet, but that's what he's doing. Like, not being critical at all, but was tonight a little bit of a... Actually, he has a bit more to do when he's up against somebody of that sort of quality. Not that he didn't have his moments tonight. We saw a few shots there, a few moments. He obviously involved in the first goal.
When you're playing on the wing, Tommy, you're often dependent on getting the good service and good backup. And that doesn't always happen. I mean, he had a limited amount of service, I thought, tonight. When you're playing the midfield area or more central, you can be in the game. You can go and find a way to go and get the ball. And I think we saw tonight, you know, there's a limitation to his influence on the game when you're playing out on the touchline. How often have we seen fellas taking it on the right, on the outside, coming inside and scoring great goals? Conceição the other night didn't affect the game tonight. They take him off at half-time. That can happen. Is he the best player in the world at the moment? I think that's it was a bit strong of the manager to say that, and probably added extra pressure to him that he didn't really need. But his performances in recent months have been exceptional, and he has the potential to be the best player in the world as he matures.
Indumentaria, la Kings Limited Gold Edition. Solo hay 50 unidades de todos los equipos y también puede ser vuestra entrando en kingsleague.pro. Así que es los datos a tener en cuenta en cuanto a indumentarias. Gran partido, Gonzalo, Gerard, el que tenemos por delante.
Ojo, estilo La Bombonera, estadio... de River.
Hostia, más minutos de retraso en el inicio, ¿eh? Ya tenemos lío.
Lo llamó Edo, dibujando la parábola sobre la banda derecha, donde en el vértice del área aparece Nadir. ¡Nadir para adentro! ¡Gol! De Nadir Lua, que tiene una facilidad pasmosa. Encuentra a Pablo, qué balón para Nadir para el segundo. Se zafa de Cócera, es un golazo. ¡Es un golazo! Señoras, señores, bienvenidos al show de Nadir Lua. Pibe.
El mejor.
Vamos
Haciendo
a ver.
espionaje, ¿eh?
Vaya mierda dado, pibe. Va, ya te puedes ir a la cúpula a comer, va.
Hay que salir Cócera para entregar hacia el centro. Se la regala Coy, le puede pegar Coy para adentro.
Vaya chicha, nano.
¡Gol! De Porcinos Óscar Coy. Ah, pues sí.
Tony, ¿tienes brazalete con él?
Pero es que, señores,
Pero te lo dije, hombre.
Tenemos, comodín, ¿cómo lo usamos? Penalti.
penalti.
Venga, será penalti.
Vamos, Cuni.
Puede meter.
Meter en el partido a Cuni. Jordi para adentro, qué golazo.
¡Guau!
¡Dios!
¡Gol!
Eso, dale.
Vamos con Nadir Lua y con Laura Vizcaíno.
Pues sí, Nadir, 2 goles, victoria y a cuartos, enhorabuena.
Sí, sabíamos que el partido iba a ser muy importante porque veníamos de una muy mala dinámica. El equipo ha estado bien, sufríamos defensivamente y creo que hemos estado muy juntitos. Y nada, primer objetivo cumplido.
Os espera Science, rival complicado, imagino.
Sí, empatamos contra ellos y en shootout
Así
perdimos. Ha quedado segundo por algo. Nada, concentración, confianza con nosotros mismos y intentar ganar para el sábado estar en el Wizzing.
Os lo veremos mañana, mucha suerte.